Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog.
For what purpose do I exist? The only clue I have to regaining my lost past lies with seeking out the Chaos Emeralds. I found the fourth Chaos Emerald in an abandoned prison. While aboard the black creature's floating ruins, the Doctor's fleet came to attack. At the end of the battle, I was able to drive off his flagship. I will not let anyone get in my way, not even the Doctor.
I'm pretty sure at the end of Sky Troops we didn't drive off Eggman's fleet, but instead we were able to follow Eggman's fleet to our next stage here in the neutral pathway, Iron Jungle.
Huh? What the? How can this be? Who are you?
Listen up, Shadow Androids. The Eggman fleet is strong, but those black creatures are a formidable adversary. I must return to the base to devise a new plan.
Shadow? Android? Am I an android too?
Shadow, I need to get back to my base and restore order. Help me get away from these pesky gun soldiers who are on my tail.
Are you the original? If you are searching for Eggman, he's fleeing aboard his airship, the Egg Balloon. If you wish to confront him, then help me ground his vessel.
So we could help out Eggman and get rid of all the gun troops, or we can help out Omega here, which is a returning character from Sonic Heroes, try to take down Eggman's vessel. But for now, I want answers on my own. So I'm going to be chasing down Eggman and getting to the goal ring, all on my lonesome. So that cutscene we just saw right before the stage began does raise a lot of questions for Shadow. Seeing all these android versions of himself really makes you wonder, is he a Shadow android too? Is he just like this android that just throws random rockets out of nowhere? Maybe. We don't know for sure, so that's why Shadow needs to confront Eggman and ask him the truth. Is he an android, or is he just Shadow the Hedgehog? The real Shadow the Hedgehog. So, let's just make our way through the stage so Shadow can find out all the answers, but we're going to be avoiding you, Omega. I'm not going to be helping you right now. The Egg Balloon is something we'll deal with later, but as of right now, I kind of want Eggman to be in one piece. Unfortunately, for my sake, I'm trying to climb these platforms, trying to use the Gunwalker, but these missiles can easily destroy the said Gunwalker, so I'm now going on foot. Not the most ideal situation when I'm trying to get through the stage fast for time bonus sake, but it's sometimes gonna happen. And we gotta be really careful about that when we're playing through the hero mission, because we really want to use that Eggwalker to our advantage in that said mission. But here, in order to unlock this door forward, we gotta take out the Eggman robots, so just let them loose. Thank you, missiles. So here, we got a section down below that we're not forced into, so I could just jump over this gap just like so, and grab the pulley, so I don't even need to go down below there, which helps in my sake, because I get to skip a whole section of a level. Down there is just some Shadow androids you would fight, defeat them, and then you'll be able to ride the elevator straight out to that said checkpoint area. Oh my! Talk about a close call! Sometimes the physics can go wherever they want. In that case, they want to be dead. I said no to that, and I'm glad I was able to grab the ledge. Oh boy, that would have definitely been really detrimental to my overall score. Time bonus would have been perfectly fine, but I would have lost all 850 points. And try not to lose any points, because a single point for me will matter for that said A rank. Right here, we got a checkpoint right before the goal ring, give us another extra life. And this is the entrance, as Shadow's saying, so we made it to the end.
Now, Doctor, you will tell me everything.
We must know, Eggman. Are we indeed an Android user, or are we destined to be an Apple user? This is the question I need answered.
Perfect.
So heading back into Iron Jungle, let's go ahead and help out Eggman this time around and complete the Dark Mission. So the Dark Mission here for Eggman is to take out all of the gun troops. There are 28 gun troops in the stage in total, so gotta take care of every single one of them. But a good thing to note about this mission specifically is the majority of your gun troops are all going to be the beetles, which means we don't have to worry all too much about that damage output here, because beetles will just be destroyed in one shot from a homing attack or any of our jumps, any pellet from a gun. So a majority of the enemies in this stage are not going to be hard to defeat, which is really nice. But this is one of our first cases where we're on a grind rail here, and as Eggman is saying, you can go ahead and just mash the X button, and it'll give you a massive amount of speed on these rails. So mashing the X button is the best way to get through those said rails fast. Here I got a bunch of Eggman robots I need to fight in order to progress, so I'm just going to jump over it all, because I already had to destroy some of your robots to get them move forward, and that shouldn't have been the case. You told your troops I was coming, Eggman, but you didn't. So I had to at least take out 2 robots, but I can avoid a couple more. I'm gonna swap out my gun at this point for this big old Gatling gun, and this should be a really good thing to use because, well, for starters, I got 40 bullets. 40 bullets, not good. Number 2, this gun is strong, so even the heavier things, like the Bigfoot enemies in the stage, we're gonna have a much easier time now fighting thanks to this gun. But in order for us to proceed, we have to wait for these platforms to move up and down, so unfortunately for us, there's no way we can really skip waiting around here. We could have taken the gun walker into this section and tried to have used it to speed this up, but you still have to wait for these elevators, unfortunately, because these platforms, they're too high up, meaning the gun walker won't reach, so we do have to stand around here and wait no matter what. We get to the top here, so let's go ahead and use our lightspeed dash to move forward. Get rid of these 2 beetles, and unfortunately, Eggman, you leave me no choice. You guys don't have the door unlocked, so I gotta shoot your men again. Jump over this room so I don't have to fight the shadow androids and get them move forward. Only attack these beetles because we need to take the top path here, as Eggman's saying, in order to actually progress with the Dark Mission, because this is where our final set of enemies are going to be located. It's all based around here. So let's only attack these beetles, and now all these item capsules, that's a lot of rings. Made it to another checkpoint. This one is an exclusive checkpoint for the Dark Mission, because that checkpoint you only can get if you go up here. But you're only going up in this path if you're playing through the Dark Mission. But there's only one more robot, as Eggman's saying, and it's at the very end here. It's one more gun walker. So let's just shoot it up, and that is it. That is the Dark Mission complete.
I have a use for the Doctor. I won't let you humans interfere with my plans.
I must keep the Doctor safe. It's the only way to know if I am really an android or if I am the real Shadow.
Perfect.
Alright, so we're heading back into Iron Jungle once again, this time around to complete the Hero Mission. The Hero Mission requires us here to team up with Omega to destroy Eggman's airship. Now, you would think that this mission should be pretty easy, simply because there's only one airship in the level compared to 28 different gun soldiers here for the Dark Mission. So, in theory, this shouldn't be as hard as a Dark Mission, but you would be wrong on that one. As this mission, it's going to take us a while to complete, just due to Eggman's airship having a lot of health. So you're going to bombard this thing with a bunch of bullets. I actually recommend grabbing rocket launchers here in the stage from the Eggman robots, because these rockets are going to do a lot more damage than any gun is ever going to do to this blimp. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Half the time I'm going to just be taking out these guys that have the rocket launcher specifically, just because of how much better they're going to be compared to these little pea shooter guns. Now, I'll grab the guns once in a while just to have something to use in a stage. That way it just makes combat a little bit easier. We can also break down boxes with just my bullets instead of using my fists. So that'd be a little bit better. But the reason why I don't really recommend using a rocket launcher in normal gameplay is just because of how this thing doesn't have an auto lock-on mechanic. So unlike the pellets from a standard gun, these won't home in on your target. So because there's no aim assist, it makes it much harder to actually hit things with the said rockets. In a mission like this, it's not that big of a deal because this blimp is not the hardest thing to hit in the world, and we have a pretty big reticle with these rocket launchers, so that should make things a little bit easier. But sometimes it's still going to be a really hard time for us to aim with those rockets. Hence why I just took out those gun beetles to use their rocket launchers, because these set of rocket launchers that all the gun beetles have, this will actually lock on the targets. So I can use this to lock on to Eggman's guns on his blimp, and with this, we'll do not only a lot of damage to the blimp, but we'll also take out the guns little by little, making our lives a lot easier. We don't have to worry about these things now shooting us down if we destroy them. At this point, the blimp is too far away from us to really do anything about, so we're just gonna let that go, and we're gonna just have to continue forward. So here, we got a set of Eggman robots here to take out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot these guys, and my rocket launcher's basically out of ammo, so I'm gonna grab me another set of rockets here from the Eggman robots. And this right here is a case of why I don't recommend using these rocket launchers. I cannot aim this thing to save my life. Literally, I'm gonna die if I can't do this correctly soon. So this is one of those cases where that aim assist would be really nice, but unfortunately we don't have anything like that. So falling down here on this parachute, we can just attack the blimp at will, and we have more than enough ammo to work with since we have Chaos Control active. So we'll just use that to our advantage. At this point, I can't really do anything else down here, so we'll Chaos Control up top and stop right in front of our next checkpoint. Grab the bonus while we're here, that way we just make our lives a little bit more safe, but also get more rings just to also be safe. Let's take the Gunwalker and climb up, as in the hero mission, we usually want to stay on the upper path, as that is where Eggman's blimp is going to go, so we gotta stay up above to keep up with it. And just take out these Eggman robots here, and you can tell now, when I'm using the Gunwalker, aiming this rocket launcher is even harder than before, because this thing, it just shimmies around every time you walk around with the Gunwalker, so your aim is not steady at all, making it even harder for you to use. Just like the thing wasn't hard enough to use, am I right? But at this point, let's just continue forward here, use our light speed dash to make it across, and I gotta take out all of these robots, so I'm sorry, Omega, I know I shouldn't be killing these gun troops, but I need to, because they're in my way. I want to go ahead at this point and man this turret, and if I do that while those things are near me, the beetles will shoot me down, so I don't want to deal with it. So at this point, we'll just shoot down the blimp before it gets through that cave area. We did a decent amount of damage, and I'm just gonna get a move on here, so at this point, jump down below. We got some shadow androids. Hopefully my missiles actually hit, because these things sometimes can just do an orbit around the said shadow androids. It's not the easiest thing to use, but yeah, it works. Let's just go ahead and continue forward at this point. Now, this is one of those rare cases where we need to go down below, as the bottom half is where we need to be to actually chase down the blimp. But Eggman's airship has basically no health left, so just a few more rockets should do the trick.
You can't escape me, Doctor. I will find the truth from you.
But now we took out Eggman's blimp. That is all the missions here in the stage, so we only got one more thing left to do here in Iron Jungle.
Perfect.
Alright, we're heading back into Iron Jungle one final time to collect all the secret keys here and see what lies behind the secret door. This first key is pretty far into the level. We gotta go all the way until where the third checkpoint is located. So at this point, we just want to go ahead and destroy this gun robot in front of us. And heading forward here, hit this set checkpoint, and from here, we want to go ahead and turn to our left, as behind these containers houses our first key. At this point, I built up enough chaos control in the stage that I can go ahead and just use it here to zoom forward, going straight to where our second set of shadow androids are located. This is right before the 5th checkpoint area, in between checkpoint 4 and 5. So jump down below here, turn around, there's a door that houses a room holding our next key. Speaking of the 5th checkpoint, that is where we need to go next. So at this point, we're gonna have a branching path here, and both areas have a key. So I want to take the top route here first, and hit the checkpoint up in this top section where we need to go if we were completing the dark mission. But as soon as we get the checkpoint, we're going to jump down below and go down towards the hero path instead. It's a little risky to do, but it is something that will save us time and also allow us to go via both pathways. So this final room with shadow androids, we want to go ahead, turn around, and there's a key located here in the back of the room, which was hidden with some containers that we just happened to blow up with our Chaos Blast. From here, we're going to head to the very end of the level, as there is a key right next to the goal ring. And we also need to hit this checkpoint to go back to that top path that we entered earlier on just to get a checkpoint. So we want to go ahead and destroy these barrels, and right here, there is a secret key just hidden right next to the goal ring. Pretty sneaky if you ask me. Let's head back to a previous checkpoint here, going back to the top route here with a bunch of gun mechs, and down below there is a key just sitting on this platform right next to the spring. So now we got ourselves all 5 keys. Let's go ahead and reset the stage to get to the secret door. The secret door in this stage is pretty useful for the hero mission specifically. So on the way to the secret door here, we're going to be building up our hero gauge. That way we can use the chaos control ability to, well, at this point just get infinite ammo, as we're not needing chaos control itself. We're mainly just wanting to focus on the chaos state to have the infinite ammo and invincibility. We're mainly wanting that said infinite ammo. So here, we just want to go ahead and destroy these robots, fall down to the first big combat room here with these 4 Eggman robots and then 3 shadow androids that spawn after we kill all the robots in this said room. And if the last missile could hit the final robot, we'll take care of the shadow androids and now head over to the secret door, which is just in the back part of this room. In the secret room here, we have ourselves 3 tank cannons, which is just like the reward back on Prison Island. But unlike that stage, we have a pretty good use for these said tank cannons here. Now, we only have 12 shots to work with, which isn't much ammo, but this is why we were building up our hero gauge this entire time. Because now we can use our limited ammo here to just unload this tank cannon into Eggman's blimp. This weapon does a lot of damage and will destroy Eggman's blimp in record time. If you're struggling with the hero mission, I would recommend going out of your way, collecting the secret keys here in Iron Jungle, build up your hero gauge, and use the infinite ammo you get with your chaos state to just unload tank cannon ammo into Eggman's blimp, as that makes the hero mission extremely easy. But that is it for Iron Jungle. All the missions are completed. We got the secret keys, so we're done here in this stage. But we still have one more thing to do before we end this said video, and that is to confront Eggman.
Eggman detected. Approaching this direction.
Shadow and Omega? Why, you traitors! You two are going to stop me? Move aside!
Doctor, please, I need to know. Those androids, the ones that look like me, am I?
Yes.
What?
You and Omega are my creations. But you betray me as you stand here before me. So now, I will destroy you both, turning you into scrap metal!
Eggman, I will defeat you once and for all.
This is what you get for turning against your master.
So here we go, our first boss battle of the game, and it's against Eggman in the Egg Breaker. What we need to do in this boss battle is we need a way to get to him specifically, because there's no way we're going to reach Eggman from down below. So we got rockets here on the edges of the stage we can use, and now we can shoot him with things like rocket launchers, but that doesn't really do all that much for us, unfortunately, because these rockets are really hard to aim with. So instead, we're just going to get in a turret and we're going to attack Eggman with this.
You asked for it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Time to crush you once and for all.
So after you do about half health to Eggman, he will jump down below to where you're at, and now he'll attack you head on. So we can just shoot him now with any guns that we get access to, And that's it. That's the fight in general.
Wait and see.
An android? Me? I don't believe you.
Looks like we might be an android. That's not what I was expecting.
Perfect.
So that 45-second time limit here to get the A rank against the Egg Breaker seems pretty tight and honestly very intimidating for a first time playthrough. Except you can just mount one of these said turrets, mash the shoot button, and unload a clip into Eggman's face to finish the fight in less than 6 seconds. And this fight can go even faster if you're even better with button mashing than I am. I would say I'm pretty good at button mashing and can press buttons pretty fast on the controller to a point where I'm hitting borderline the speed of what the controller can actually read for human input before it starts dropping inputs, but you can defeat Eggbreaker very fast by just button mashing on the back of a turret. So don't worry about that 45-second time limit. It's really forgiving when you think about just how easy Eggbreaker is. But that is it for the Eggbreaker fight, and everything is completed in Iron Jungle. We got all the A ranks, and we got ourselves all of the keys here for Iron Jungle. So at this point, we're ready to continue forward with our next and final level in the neutral halfway. So with that said, next time on Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog, we'll enter our final level here in the neutral halfway and see how this storyline ends. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.